Hello everyone, Dr. Amy Thompson here. Today I'm making a video to show you how to set up some containers to raise out dragonfly nymphs. Okay, so what do you need to set up a container to raise up a dragonfly nymph? Well, I'm about to set one up right here. I have a nymph right here that I collected from a stream, and I want to raise this nymph so I can see what kind of dragonfly it's going to turn into. I can probably key it out, but that's a heck of a lot of work. And this one is just about to metamorphose. See how puffy those wing pads are? These wing pads right here. So I think it's going to metamorphose pretty soon. Okay, so you can use any container to raise them out in, and I like to use these deli containers because I can get them in bulk in my lab, but you can use anything you want. You could use a yogurt tub or a bucket or anything. It's nice if it comes with a lid, because after the dragonfly metamorphoses into an adult, you don't want it to fly away. You don't want it to end up in your house or wherever you're raising it. So if you have a lid, you can kind of I like to cut out these plastic middle pieces. So I just took some scissors and I cut out the plastic middle, and then I hot glued some window screen on there. Window screen is an awesome tool for raising nymphs because you can use it to make a mesh cover. And you can also put it inside the container that you're rearing your nymph in, because the nymph will crawl up this mesh when it's ready to metamorphose. And you can just tape that in there or hot glue it in there like I did. Once you have your container all set up, you have whatever plastic, metal, glass container you're going to put your nymph in, and you have some window screen inside of it, and you have a cover ideally with window screen or some sort of mesh. I should mention that you can buy just window screen from the hardware store. It's really inexpensive, and I just cut it off with scissors to the side I need. So this is easy to get to. This works the best, but you can use anything. Sometimes you can just put a stick in there for them to climb up on. But like I mentioned, the window screen is just really nice, works well. One thing you need to put in here before you put your nymph in is something for the nymph to hold on to. I'm going to use this piece of granite right here. Let's put that right in the bottom of the container. And then also your nymph needs water, right? Because they're aquatic. So I put the water in here, and you don't want to put too much water in. I have maybe just like an inch, inch and a half, two. Because especially with this nymph I'm going to put in here, this nymph is a river nymph and it likes lots of oxygen in the water. And if you put less water in, you'll get more water in there. Surface area, you'll have more surface area per volume of water, so the water will have more oxygen. So don't fill it all the way up, just fill it a couple inches in there. And now you're ready to put your nymph in. So you can just gently pick it up and drop it right on in there. So the cool thing about keeping bigger dragonflies, or ones that are close to metamorphosing, is they don't need to be kept for as long, and they don't need as much food. In fact, some of them, when they're really close to metamorphosing, stop eating, or most of them do. All of them do. Their mouth parts stop working. So this one probably still has another week or so, so it's going to need a little bit of food. And you can feed dragonfly nymphs anything that's smaller than them, that's alive, that they can get their little mouth parts around. So they will eat anything that's alive and moving, but I like to feed my dragonfly nymphs. These are called aquatic blackworms, and you can get them from specialty aquarium supply stores. And these are great because I can keep them alive in my lab in tanks, and I can just use them to feed my nymphs whenever I need. So I'm going to suck up a few with this pipette. You can see I have some in there, and then I'm just going to drop those worms in here with the nymph. Okay, so now my nymph has worms, it has a rock, it has mesh to curl up on, it wants to metamorphose, so it has everything that it needs. It can munch on those worms whenever it gets hungry, and I'm ready to put the cover on. So this will let air flow in and out of there, but keep it safely inside the container in case it decides to metamorphose. It won't fly away. And then last but not least, don't forget to make a label. This one is a little bit hard to see right now, but maybe I'll rewrite it. But you can write where you collected the nymph, on what date, any data you think you might want. It's just good practice to label things so you know what it is and where it came from. So hopefully this nymph will metamorphose in the next week or two. Hello everyone. A little update on that nymph that I just showed you how to set up a tank to raise it out in. It is about a week later, and that nymph that I put in that container just metamorphosed into an adult. Here's what it looks like. And there is the little baby skin that's left behind. We call that the exuvia. You can see, I dumped the water out already. You can see that the nymph just crawled right up that window screen and paused right there. And when I came in just now, the dragonfly was also holding onto the window screen, ready for me to identify. So I hope you get a chance to raise out some nymphs in your classroom or your home or wherever you are using these lessons.